So we're just going to stick around here for the presentation for the under 14s boys city versus country. As you can see here, we've got the two teams combining together for a team photo. It's great to see.
I think rugby really exemplifies that camaraderie, doesn't it? You know, it's one of the only games where we still call the referee sir and walk up at the end of the game and shake hands and have a beer with the other team.
Well, I hope they're not having beers in this competition.
Ginger beers, ginger beers.
He meant ginger beers. He meant ginger beers. You've got President of Country Junior Rugby Union, Mick Molino, up addressing the two squads. Captain of the Sydney Juniors, Tyrese Lucchini, accepting.
Well said there by Paddy O'Hara.
So I think they give a gift to the captain of the other team, and then they pick who they think the best player was and give him a bit of country kit.
Yeah, and as you called it, Paddy.
I think I called that. Yeah,
you did.
You did.
Young Will Taylor taking the bickies from the.
Do you collect a bit of rugby kit there, Gus?
Mate, I love a bit of kit. I don't think I'd have anything to do with rugby if it wasn't for the kit.
This picture here is a great picture in the country. And the other 14, 12 years ago, my brother passed away. Dave McCormack, he was a player at Israel on the Israel coast. And since then, my family have grown the Dave McCormack shield and a the best country player on the ground. And also a scholarship to the Rugby Academy in January in Armidale. And part of that, congratulations, mate.
So presenting the Dave McCormack Shield there, a bit of a legend around Mid-North Coast. Started the Hastings Valley Vikings and still got two sons playing first grade. And they're looking to probably, they made the grand final.
Well, Paddy, you've picked it. You picked the award.
He certainly did have an outstanding game. Young Will Taylor from
Very
Hunt.
solid player, one to watch for the future.
Yeah, we've got one of our listeners here, Paul Morrish, a little bit upset because we have commentators that don't know anything about junior rugby. I'd challenge that a little bit, Paul, but happy for your comments. Thanks. Keep them coming through.
Well, we'll take a short break and we're back here for the under 15 girls side.
Locking down the scrum. Emily to Waratahs. Number 9, Katarina Negro. Number 10, running the back line today, Amber Murphy Haua. Number 11, Isabel Moy. Number 12, Chelsea Makira. Number 13, Latia Fusi. Number 14, Mia Allenson. Number 15, at the back, Bree Stone. Number 17, Caitlin Winslade. Number 18, Lilani Faunuku. Beg your pardon. Number 19, Ariana Harden. Number 20, Summer Anazio. Number 21, Ainsley Ryan. Number 22, Joy Levy. Number 23, Ruby Nicholas. Coached by Andrew Winslade. Managers Warren Davis.
We're underway here, boys, for the under-15 girls. And we also have a referee who is a girl refereeing this game.
Yeah, women referees are quite a big part of the women's game nowadays, and it's fantastic to see. As Paddy alluded to earlier, when we played the under 18s national schoolgirls competition, we had an all-female officiating staff, all developing officials, with some really experienced female officials in there as well. And I think that's a really important aspect of the sport.
Yeah, I thought Rugby Australia did a really good job at schoolgirl nationals this year, and it just shows great vision by them to try and produce the next generation of match officials, and especially female match officials, especially with Super W and Aussie Sevens and the Aon series blowing up.
It's a good run there. Oh, turnover there for country.
Playing very flat rugby at the moment, both sides. So Paddy, having so much to do with women's sevens and now the New South Wales Country Corellas as your head coaching that, what do you see? This level of girls rugby as aiding you in your efforts moving forward?
Oh, I think it's just great to see the women's pathway. It's quite clean. Like it's very direct. So from here, these girls will go to 17s. From under 17s, they'll go to the Corellas, then straight into Super W into the Wallaroos. So sometimes in men's rugby, especially, it can get a little bit convoluted. Where in the women's pathway, you can literally go from playing New South Wales Country to Super Rugby, which is really good to see.
First scrum here, nice and strong from New South Wales Country. Looking for a short side run from the number 8, Charlie Norton. Again,
Hunter.
Yeah, local girl from the Hunter region.
Good run there by number 4, which is Abby Kent from Central North.
Again, taking the ball very flat, Paddy.
And that's Owen Patrick from Illawarra. Good run there by number 6, which is Brooke McKinnon from Central North.
I think Central North and especially in their junior girls program, they've been kind of ahead of the game for the last couple of years, and both Tony Mills and Jeremy Maslin both hail from the Tamworth region.
I know Gary Walsh, who's New South Wales Rugby Development Officer out there, puts a lot of time and effort and kilometres into developing his junior programs, but in particular his junior girls programs. He's done a lot of excellent work in that space, and I know he's had accolades from within his own organisation for that.
Referees called them the City Girls offside, so play on here for the Country Girls.
And again,
They're Coach Killer, those penalties.
Yeah, the old
this close to the line.
Not rolling away on your own line. Looking for opportunities a little bit wider.
Good defence there by City. Good run up there by Abby Kent from Central North. They go to the left.
Oh, great good hand. Great hands out wide. Excellent try there
Madison
from
MacArthur.
the 15. Madison MacArthur.
Local girl, Hunter girl.
Go the Hunter. And same as the first game earlier this morning, they've gone over to the far side to score a try.
They're making our job hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
See Gary Head, the under-15s manager, running water on his ones. Good to see.
He's a bit of a world champion, Gary Head. He has. He's one of the people. Him, Kim Knight, Michelle Edwards. They're all people who have done an outstanding job for many, many years now in New South Wales country junior rugby. Give up so much of their own time, their own resources, purely to build junior rugby from the bottom up, and they do it for all the right reasons. Outstanding humans across the organisation.
Unlucky with the kick there. Gus, what do you reckon the Sydney Juniors, a couple of minutes into the game, a 5 pointer's been scored against them? What do you reckon the talk was behind the line?
Well, I think that what they got to do is really muscle up their defence and have a look at the depth they're taking into their attack. They've sat there and whenever they've got the ball in their hands, they're throwing it and running really flat. They're waiting till they get the ball to start moving, and that's really starting to push them back behind the line with some decent line speed. They're getting caught behind the advantage line, the gain line every time. So I think behind the try line just now, they would have been told to start moving their feet a little bit more in defence and certainly in attack.
I think it's amazing a lot of these girls, it'd probably be maybe their second or third game of 15s rugby ever.
Yeah.
Coming from heavily probably a 7s background and possibly maybe 10s. So,
and it is quite the transition to make from 7s rugby to 15s rugby.
That was a good run by the country girl there.
Small knock on there. Pushing New South Wales country. Sydney now with some good attacking field position.
Yeah, we'll finally get to see what City can put on now that they've got their first opportunity to attack. Beautiful day here, boys.
it is, it's glorious. You couldn't ask for a much better day, I think. Newcastle weather.
It's a good town to live in, Newcastle. If you listen to the live stream and you haven't had the opportunity to ever come up to Newcastle, we've just recently brought the tram into Newcastle, so you can, if you're from down in the Sydney area, you can get the train and then hop onto the tram and get to the Newcastle beach.
Bit of light rail.
Seems
to be the flavour of the month everywhere you go now, isn't it? Just a little scrum reset here. First one collapsed.
Another Gordon scrum here, scrum half here, Katrina Negro.
The referee's taking control there. Great camera work by our Bar TV.
Good scrum by the country girls. Got the ball out.
Oh, that's a good ball.
Oh, great hole. Great hole from the 15, Sydney 15.
Bree Stone from the Western Zone.
I'll tell you what, the West is really well represented in the girls program as well. Oh, it looks like Bree might have hurt herself in that little outstanding little run she had for a try then. Might be looking for some attention.
Have a look at this replay. Just
absolutely picked the space and just attacked it.
And with intent.
With
She was
intent.
running
And
with
just,
intent.
New South Wales country just had no answer for that sort of hard and straight ball running.
That was a great try.
Nice try to Sydney number 15, Bree Stone.
Well, Paddy's going to have to leave us now. He's got to go and do some work with his team for 5 minutes.
Thanks.
So you'll be stuck with...
Thanks, Paddy. Thanks for your commentating thoughts.
No worries. Thanks for having me. And
good luck this afternoon in the girls' side.
Thanks very much. And good luck to all the teams playing today.
Cheers, Paddy.
All right, so here we are. We've got Georgia Holden from the local Hunter Rugby Club. She's one of the New South Wales country under-17s girls.
How are you, Jordan?
Georgia.
I'm good,
Georgia.
thank you.
How are you, Georgia?
Good.
What do you think of the competition here today?
It's really good, like hard competition with the boys going down, but this is gonna be a good, strong game, and I'm keen to get out there with the girls.
And who's your player to watch in this under 15 girls?
I actually don't know. There's a couple. Well, I know some of the Hunter girls, like Georgia Chapel, Harriet, Paris, Maddie, Imogen, and yeah, they're pretty good players from the Hunter.
And well, thank you very much for your time today. And good luck this afternoon in the under-17s.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia.
Cheers.
A penalty there to Sydney. So offside from New South Wales country. They're really starting to get some up the guts ascendancy now, Sydney. Some really strong ball running. Good pilfer now from country on the ground.
Here's number 7 for the country girls, which is Charlotte Ether, who is from Central North.
They're clearing the ball very quickly from the base of the ruck. Outstanding
Good
hole
play
running
here.
again.
Good run there by Aniki Riley from Mid-North Coast for number 13.
Equally well shut down by Bree Stone. Some really quality ball being delivered. Oh, quite high tackle there from the number Sydney 4, from the Sydney number 4 rather, Talia Marina.
It looks like the girls like to spread the ball. They look like they're spreading the ball early.
Yeah, and it's really starting to pay off for them. It looks like the referee wants to have a bit of a chat. So the law, particularly in juniors, is any contact with the shoulder or neck area will constitute an automatic yellow card. Anything with contact with force to the neck head area is an automatic red card. So there's no surprises there that high tackle resulted in a yellow card. 10 minutes a minute. Moving it wide to the blind side. New South Wales country really starting to make some good metres, and Sydney not doing themselves any favours, Josh, with the penalty count.
Looks like the referee's coming to have a chat to the captain again. Probably just about the penalties.
I would say repeat infringements down close to their line is what they would be looking at now. Oh, error there from New South Wales country. And come back from the scrum. So the referee will be sitting there and now talking to both scrums and just letting them know her expectations. She may have seen some things earlier, but it seems like a fairly even matchup in the scrum and the set piece across the field between the Sydney and New South Wales country team.
Absolutely. Tight battle here early.
It's good to see. It's good to see it's so evenly matched across girls and women's rugby across the country.
Good push there by the country team.
Quite strong, quite strong. Now Sydney are in trouble here.
Looks like a drop ball.
Another drop ball, forward pass. It was a call from the referee. Close to Sydney's line. This could be a very, very good attacking opportunity for New South Wales country. Be interested to see what they do off the back of this scrum. I know New South Wales country have been coached quite heavily in terms of their depth in attack and how deep they attack their line from. So it'll be interesting to see how they use that depth now and how they move the ball. New South Wales country put in 5 metres out. 5 metre scrum. To the back, picked off by the number 8.
Goes to short
Very
side.
strong run.
Has a great run there by Charlie Norton.
Double knock-on's a call from the referee. Sydney scrum 5 metres out.
It was unfortunate there. She was just pretty much really short, probably a couple of metres short of the line there, and could have made that try, but unfortunately she knocked it on.
I think Josh body height had a lot to do with that. If she had perhaps attacked it with a little lower, with the body height just a little lower, perhaps she would have got her got the points in that occasion. But certainly taking nothing away from Sydney's defence on their line. Really putting pressure on the under-15s New South Wales Country girls. Interesting to see what Sydney does to get out of here.
There's a breakdown in the scrum. Do a reset.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what the referee's seen there. Now we've got some interchange happening. It's like a wholesale front row change for the New South Wales Country under-15s girls.
Yeah, it's a great day here in number 2 Sports Ground here in Newcastle. Just a shout out to the sponsors for this event. Elders Insurance, Esto Travel, Hello World Travel, Total Precast, Signal Sportswear and Glencore. So without those sponsors, we don't have an event like this, so thank you to them.
We repack the scrum with a brand new front row for New South Wales Country. Oh, short arm penalty. Going with a free kick to New South Wales Country for wheeling in the scrum. So for those who don't know out there, a free kick is not the same as a penalty kick. A free kick's given for a technical infringement rather than foul play.
Right. Thanks for that insight there, Gary. And another scrum.
Yeah, a little knock on from New South Wales Country there. So Sydney juniors under-15s girls get another opportunity to exit out of their own territory. The referee having another talk to both scrums, making sure that it's safe. Because of the nature of the scrum itself, it's got to be heavily watched by the referees and certainly heavily controlled because of the safety aspect of it. And that's one thing that that rugby is doing really, really well now is looking after the safety of its players from the bottom up, particularly in the junior ranks. Sydney have chosen to take it wide straight away. They cleaned it out. So they're trying to settle it a little bit, Josh, just with a couple of just forward runs.
That's it. Good defence there by number 17, which is Paris Young. That's a good run there.
Outstanding.
Good run there by number 16.
Yeah, playing the ball on the ground there, New South Wales Country. You can't do that. So again, for those out there who aren't aware, once you're off your feet in a ruck situation, you're not allowed to play at the ball. That will result in a penalty kick. You have a few options with a penalty kick. You can kick for touch, where you'll get the line out. You can kick it on the spot and take it, well, what they normally would call a tap. Well, you have the option of a scrum as well. Off a penalty kick.
This is going to be the first line out for the under-15 girls, so we'll see how this works for them. Bit City to throw it in.
Fake at the back. Good line out win by Sydney.
That's a good run.
Outstanding barnstorming run by the 3. Phoenix LeMays. Outstanding run. I'll tell you what, they're big, strong forwards, Sydney. They're carrying the ball really, really well. So referee's playing penalty advantage at the moment for Sydney due to a high tackle. Here we go. She's blown it back. She's taking it back. Ball stopped. A little bit of a high tackle there from New South Wales
I like
Country.
that in rugby. they play the advantage when there's a penalty. Because
Yeah.
I see in rugby league, for example, when the referee blows a penalty, and then it just stops play. Whereas in rugby union, you see that continue play, which is
Well,
good.
in a lot of cases, the penalty advantage is more of an advantage than the penalty itself.
That's correct.
You know, if you let it play on, it'll be more of an advantage than pulling it back for the penalty. So yeah, it is a good way to play it for sure. Early jump, so New South Wales couldn't go up again there for fear of another penalty.
Unfortunately, it's a knock on.
Sydney have tried to move it wide and just unfortunately had the ball hit the deck. Resetting another scrum puts New South Wales country into a very good attacking position here. You see we've got a sort of staggered backline here for New South Wales country, and trying to throw their defensive efforts out a little bit. And as you can see, the defensive lineup from Sydney Juniors leaves quite a lot of room in the middle. Oh,
Fortunately, it's a turnover.
yeah, Sydney have won the scrum against the feed.
It's good to see.
Well done. Not an easy feat.
They've spread the ball.
They have, but New South Wales country have really done a good job in getting up in their face and shutting that ball down. Just a penalty there for hands on the ball in the ruck. So once the ruck is formed, you cannot put your hands on the ball until it comes out. If you're a new person
Going
joining
for
the
kick
ruck.
for touch. Unfortunately, it was a drop ball in the crowd.
Good effort though by the young fella. We've got another interchange being made now.
Good line out here.
Yeah, well stolen by New South Wales country. It's a good throw. It's good, well executed by Sydney. Just unfortunately, country got on top of them and make it for that occasion.
Here's number 7, which is Charlotte Ether.
There's some big defence from New South Wales. Sydney. They've come out with the ball.
It's a turnover. That's number 17, which is Caitlin Winsley from Gordon.
Oh, ball's out.
Referee calls play on.
Well, New South Wales country really need to react to that sort of thing. The ball was out completely, and they just didn't start to move. Sydney Juniors really starting to take some ascendancy up the guts here, up the middle of the field. Starting to get a good roll on with the forwards. Now here's Monica Famosulini. Taking some excellent carries so far since she's come onto the paddock. Summer Anazio for a strong carry, and she's been caught holding onto the ball. Really good defence from the New South Wales country girls. They've opted for the quick tap. They're trying to throw it wide, and they've come up with an error. So we're going to have a Sydney scrum, 30 metres out.
Is that working?
Seems the girls are taking their time to come into the scrum. An opportunity for a bit of a breather. Sydney scrum. That's a roll on in. If they keep that ascendancy in the forwards and keep that the barnstorming runs up the guts happening, there's not a lot that can stop this big Sydney pack.
Just while we've got a stop in play here, Gary, we've got the man of match for the under 14 boys, Will Taylor from the Hunter.
Hello.
Congratulations, Will.
Thank you very much.
And what did you think of that performance?
It was a good game by us. We kind of had to stick to the game plan. They did run around us sometime, like score pretty much all their tries, but we're pretty strong up the middle. Just a couple crucial errors that just made them go through, and they're all a great team. You know, well trained.
And what do you think of the event here today?
The girls.
Oh, the event in itself.
Oh, it's great. It's amazing. Great weather, great footy. Just a great day to be here.
Well, congratulations, Will.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I will.
And thanks for coming on Bar TV. Cheers.
So Sydney really starting to hang on to the ball now and starting to move it side to side, working the short side really, really effectively. But New South Wales country keeps shutting them down in every opportunity. They're coming up off their line. They're aggressive in defence. They're aggressive over the ball, and they're really looking to shut this Sydney attack down.
Geez, this is a good run by number 3, which is Phoenix Limis.
Yeah, she's had a couple of exceptional carries today. And New South Wales country there penalised, hands in the ruck again. Sydney opting for the quick tap.
Just short of the...
And a steal. I would call that an opportune steal from New South Wales country. So when they don't want to be throwing the ball around too much though, Josh, in their own 22.
Especially down that end.
Really want to look at getting out of there, and they do.
Good kick for possession.
Excellent bounce opportunity for New South Wales country. Feed the ball out. They're putting the pressure. The
one-on-one strip. The one-on-one strip. It's good to see in the game, the one-on-one strip.
Yeah, well, it's another big difference in between rugby league and rugby union. That can happen at any time. The strip. It doesn't matter how many people are in the tackle. Certainly makes you hang onto the ball a little bit harder. Really, Sydney not using their width too well here.
Here's number 17, which is Caitlin Winsley. And passes it to number 3, which is Phoenix Lemise. She's very close to the
exceptionally high work rate for the Sydney front row. Across the entire Sydney front row, they're working really, really hard the whole time.
It's good defence here by country.
Certainly is. Certainly is. They sort of got a good slide defence happening, and they're also filling their gaps from the inside in cover, and it's really, really good to see. Probably due to some excellent coaching from Tony Mills, Jeremy Maslin.
Good play there by number 11, which is Isabel Moy. Looks like there's an overlap there, but unfortunately they didn't pass it out.
No. That's what I mean. They're just really not capitalising on their width at the moment, Sydney. They're holding their width really well. But it just doesn't look like they're exploiting that. New South Wales country are shutting them down before they can get the ball that wide.
And the referees called half-time, but the clock on the scoreboard says there's a minute 20 left.
Well, the referee is the official timekeeper in all things rugby union. So if she's called time, then that's time.
Well, that's at half-time here in the under-15 girls. It's Sydney Juniors 5, Country Juniors 5. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with you shortly. What did you think of the first half, Gary?
Yeah, Josh, I think Sydney have. There's a lot of potential in the Sydney team. I just don't see that they're exploiting it. But that's not taking anything away from the New South Wales country defence either. I think they've been very strong in holding their width aligned with the Sydney team and really getting up in their faces and taking it away. I think it's a very close matchup, as was represented by the scoreboard, and I'm really looking forward to the second half.
And I heard in the halftime break we're actually playing for the Malara Murphy Shield.
Yeah, Mahalia Murphy.
Mahalia
Shield,
Murphy,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
And she's a current Wallaroo, is that correct?
She is a current Wallaroo, a superstar in women's rugby. Has had a lot to do with, she came through the ranks similar programs to this. There's never really been a girls' 15s competition at this level till only a couple of years ago. So Mahali has sort of done it the hard way and got herself up there with the likes of Grace Hamilton, and the under-17s girls a little bit later will be playing for the Grace Hamilton Shield, which is the current Wallaroos captain Grace Hamilton. It's named after her, who's doing outstanding things in world rugby for women, and so playing a bit of homage to modern day women's rugby athletes.
Well, we're back underway here in the under-15 girls side.
Sydney have come out very strong, looking like they've really got some intent in their defence this half so far. Good centre field carries. Small knock on found from Sydney there. And New South Wales country scrum in the midfield.
For the scrum.
And Sydney making a very early change in the second half.
What's the rules on interchange in this competition? Is it
in this
unlimited?
particular competition? It's unlimited interchange. Yeah, changes from competition to competition, but the laws are a little bit funny around that. Actually, there's quite a lot of laws on interchange and how you can use front row interchanges and injury time and blood bins and all of that different type of stuff. There's quite a lot to it. Scrum going straight down there.
Yeah. Good camera work there by our girls on Bar TV.
Everyone's kept telling me how good the camera work is on Bar TV. Never believed them until I was sitting in this chair. Hey, mate.
Just got a little young kid joining us behind us.
In the commentary box. Coming to see what we're up to. We're resetting the scrum now. New South Wales country feed. Another strong scrum from New South Wales country. Jeremy Maslin, excellent scrum and set piece coach.
Good play there by number 10, which is Imogen Hope. She's also another Hunter girl.
And some good behind the line defence from Sydney there. Really trying to shut New South Wales country down before they sort of get any forward movement. But here we go. We made a break down the sideline. Well done to stay in there. Sydney looking like they're having a bit of trouble rolling out of that ruck.
Number 2 there.
Very high and gutsy run from Sarah O'Neill. Another Central North girl. In terms of New South Wales rugby, rugby really well represented from the Central North regions. And as you can see, New South Wales country really holding a lot of depth in their attack.
And that's turnover there for City.
Oh, great defence. Great defence there from Nakia Stora. No, that was Sarah O'Neill.
Good run there by number 8, which is Emily Waters from the Western Zone.
Yeah, how well represented is Western Sydney today?
Yeah, it's good to see.
Across both age grades we've seen so far, we've seen nothing but Western Sydney superstars taking on. Oh, very high tackle there. Very high tackle on the Sydney player. Ruby Nicholas.
Was that
from
playing
Gordon.
the advantage, was it?
Yeah, she played the penalty advantage there for another high tackle. I'm actually quite surprised that that didn't result in a yellow card similar to the one we saw in the first half.
Yeah. So we got number 10, which is Aberan Murphy Husser from Southern Districts, taking the line, kicking for touch there. And we've got a line out.
Line out around about 30 metres out.
Every time I go to take the jacket off, it goes cold again.
That breeze, it'll get you every time, won't it? Get you every time.
Good line out.
That throw was not straight. Ended up on the outside shoulder of the line out jumper there. So now,
what does that mean?
Well, New South Wales Country now have a choice whether they want to take a line out, so they can throw a line out themselves, or they can take a scrum at the point where the line out was thrown in.
Right.
And it looks like on this occasion, New South Wales Country have opted for the line out throw.
So if you don't throw it correctly,
if you don't throw the ball down the centre of the line out, it has to go in between the two line outs.
Yep.
Or the two teams. And if you fail to do so, or it goes outside, it's another it's another technical infringement.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that good insight there. And that's number 15, which is Madison MacArthur from the Hunter.
I love to see the country girls' intent when they come onto the ball. They're actually moving forward as they take the ball and straight away fixing the Sydney's defence. It's really serving them well out wide in particular. They're really getting some strong carries. A good carry there from Abby Kent from Central North. Moving the ball wide, New South Wales Country looking for some space out wide. Can't find it on this occasion. Good cover by Sydney. Moving it back, just a little bit of panic sets in for the 10. And now we've got a Sydney on the breakaway down the blind side, looking for a good counter attack. New South Wales Country scrambling to get back. Sydney moving it wide, trying to find some room. Can't find it. New South Wales Country shut them down. Centre field. And we have another penalty to Sydney. Quick tap by Filofono. Can't find the space through. And now the penalty's gone the other way to New South Wales Country.
I'm the assistant coach, so I'm a backs coach.
For this grade?
For Sydney.
For this division?
Yeah, for under 15 girls.
Okay, just while we're got a break in play there, we've been lucky enough to be joined by Phoebe, who is a backs coach for the Sydney Juniors. Welcome, Phoebe, to Bar TV Sports.
Thank you for having me.
And we've now got both. What do you think of the game so far?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, scores are level at the moment, so it's been a tough battle for both teams. Yeah, they're both playing really well, and it's amazing to see.
And do you play the game yourself?
I do, yes. So I'm a scrum half myself.
Yep. Great.
Some excellent defence there from Sydney, landing them with a bit of touch. Bringing New South Wales Country into touch.
What do you think of the competition, Phoebe?
Yeah, it's really good. I love to see a good, hard game of footy, and I think this is what this game's shaping up to be, so it's good to watch.
Well, thank you very much for your insight. Stick around and feel free to have a say whenever you like.
Oh, beautiful hands there.
That's
a good, strong defence from New South Wales Country, bringing down a barnstorming run, recycling the ball really well. And again, determined defence from Sarah O'Neill from Central North. She's been a defensive powerhouse today, and it looks like it's knocked her around a little bit.
Fortunate enough on there, yeah.
It looks like that was a turnover, so Country have got the ball. Let's see if they can make the most of the turnover. That's a good run there by number 7. which is Charlotte Ether from Central North. She's been busy today.
She's been very busy. And the Central North girls really representing their zone, really strong. And here we go with a break down the sideline again. Just can't find a way through that Sydney line at the moment.
So Phoebe, what's your role as a backs coach?
Just really working, with all the backs, helping them come up with moves. Making sure.
What's your go-to move in the rugby field? I'm talking.
Or for me, or for what the girls like to do.
What's the girls like to do?
They've got a move that they like to call Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah, and they really like that one. So.
Okay.
Have they used it today?
Have they used it today?
They've used it a little bit. Their try was scored off another move that they really like, that we call Oi.
Oi, okay.
Yeah, they really like that one, so hopefully see that one again.
So can you point us out when they're going to do the Xbox?
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Cool. You just shout it out. Tell us Xbox is coming.
Giving all their secrets away, mate.
What have you got as country,
Well, I'm the New South Wales country backs coach, so I'm sitting here just doing a bit of study, mate.
With his back turned.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a line out here on the halfway line.
Right on the halfway line. Again, getting caught with an early jump, New South Wales country.
Oh, just gone over the top there.
Strong defence. And they've come up with the turnover. New South Wales country on the attack again.
So who do you play for, Phoebe?
At club level, I play for Eastern Suburbs.
Eastern Suburbs?
Yes.
Yep. And how are you going so far in that competition?
Good, yeah, we're doing really well at the moment. So hopefully be able to make finals.
Turnover from Sydney. Starting their roll through the middle again.
Some lovely footwork there by Maddie.
Sydney finding a little bit of space out wide.
Yeah, it's good to see that both the girls' side moving the ball today. It's really good to see.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's good. Some good running rugby, which is nice.
They're throwing some of the tackles are coming up a little bit high though, resulting in a fair few penalties that are going both ways at the moment.
He's number 8, which is
strong defence.
Emily Waters, but strong defence there by country.
Yeah, Brooke McKinnon from Central North put on a big shot just then. I'm not quite sure what the problem is here. It looks like someone's getting in a bit of trouble. Let's see, yellow card, New South Wales country, number 3, Georgia Chappell.
Georgia Chappell from the Hunter. We're not usually bad players in the Hunter, Gary.
No, well, it just looks like Georgia might have been the straw that broke the camel's back there. I think she's just one too many infringements. Called for offside on that occasion, but I think just close to the line, just too many repeat infringements.
See if City can make the most of this. It's number 4, which is Italia Marina.
Well, for City are finally starting to find their width a little bit. I think earlier in the game they were struggling to get the ball wide. We had a small knock on now from New South Wales country. In apt timing for Sydney, straight after a steal, I would say.
So Phoebe, did you play in this competition coming through the ranks?
I did. So I actually played in the first ever girls under 17s 15-a-side team, which was really exciting. So we had our game down in Bathurst. So yeah, that was a couple of years back. It was good fun.
If girls that haven't played rugby union before listening, what would you say to them? What's good about rugby union?
Everything. I would tell them to definitely give it a go. I love every minute that I play. You make the best friends, and it's just the most enjoyable sport. You really get to put everything into it.
Yeah, you definitely. Most players looked tanks, so to speak, after they've played a good game of rugby union. So
Yeah,
you've got to have that athletic ability as well.
yes, definitely. Like it really does take everything out of you. You leave everything on the pitch.
Do you probably agree with that, Gary?
Yeah, mate. I sort of often say to my players, you know, if you've got anything left in the tank, you haven't gone hard enough by the time you come off the field. So that's definitely, I concur. You can put as much or as little into it as you want, but to do it well, you need to put it into it. Off the back of the scrum, we've got Kiana Lokini looking for the line, gets over it. Outstanding try. Very, very excited scene from Sydney. There's a great short side play off the back of the scrum.
That's all right. Yeah, good play from the back of the scrum there by number 6, which is Kiana Lakoka.
Really saw an opportunity once the scrum started to turn. Took the ball out from the back of the scrum. Saw a big opening out wide. Winger couldn't get there. Flanker couldn't get there. Crossed the line. And outstanding try from
happy
Sydney.
as Larry, and she deserves a rest now.
She's a good, strong ball runner. She definitely deserves a try.
That takes the score now, Sydney 10, Country 5, with a kick to come, and we've got Caitlin Winsley from Gordon taking this conversion.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Bree Stone has suffered a head knock, so she won't be coming back onto the field.
Okay, but she scored the first try, didn't she?
She did.
That was a powerful run.
It was a very nice run. And she also went for the conversion afterwards, but now that she's off the field, Caitlin Winslade is taking over the kicking duties.
Prop kicking.
Let's call it.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Is she going to kick it?
I reckon she'll get it. Lovely strike.
Just
not
enough
quite
legs.
the distance.
Not enough legs.
It's good to see a bit of backup plan. And that takes, still the score remains 10 points Sydney, Country 5, with less than 14 minutes remaining on the scoreboard. And let's see what Country can do here with this kickoff.
And Country really need to consolidate in terms of their penalty counts. They're just giving far too many away. A lucky break there.
And unfortunately, number 13 for City, Letitia Fisu from West Harbour, has dropped her lollies.
This might be just the opportunity that New South Wales Country need to gain back those 5 points they just dropped. With one in the sin bin, makes it a little bit more tough, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one down in the scrum as well. Set piece has been a really strong part of the New South Wales Country game today.
Good push there by City.
Wasn't quite enough on that occasion. A great run back in by Anastasia Martin. Very, very strong and confident ball carry. Sydney pushing over. Great counter ruck. Here they go now.
Lovely run there by Phoenix Lemesi.
And this is what I'm talking about, Josh, with them starting to find their width.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to find their width and they're starting to stretch the New South Wales Country defence to the sideline, finding space and moving to it.
Oh, down the short side.
A great running
That's
line.
a great run.
Great run by Summer Anasio.
Plenty of post-contact meters in that one. Unfortunately, she couldn't control the ball. New South Wales Country on the counter, and we've just found a forward pass.
So scrum here now to City.
City now in another attacking position.
So So Phoebe, was there a lot of training ahead of this competition? What did you have to do?
Yeah, so we've had quite a few training sessions leading up to this. So we started a good couple months ago maybe now. And yeah, just been working on all our skills and everything. It was really nice seeing all the girls come together from different teams and gel so well together. They're such a good team and such lovely girls.
Did you come up this morning, or did you stay up here overnight?
Yeah, so the bus for the girls came up this morning.
Yep.
Here we go, Italia Marina running up the blind side. Really starting to test the New South Wales country defence now.
And Katrina Negro goes for a little snipe there. We see a bit of pick and drive from Caitlin Winslade.
They're really setting their backs up well here. Really putting the New South Wales country to
Is this the
defence.
Xbox play coming up?
Or maybe.
I don't think
Monica
they'll need
seems
it,
to be
Josh.
over the line.
We're held
or
up.
held up.
5 metre
Referee's called
scrum.
head up. So is it a set play from the scrum, or is it a set play when they're in the ruck?
You're doing my research for me outstandingly.
Both, really. They
mate.
like to use it all the time, so hopefully we'll see it both off some set piece and in general play. I think they'll go for an Xbox move here.
And our country, they've got the PlayStation play, do they?
Mate, I like to keep mine a little bit closer to my chest than City, obviously. I'm not much of a gamer, mate, so I don't know the difference.
Well, we've got a scrum here. We've got under 10 minutes left on the clock.
Another back of the scrum play. This time shut down by New South Wales country.
Good run here by number 5.
Yeah, some really strong defence there.
Fatita Malala from West Harbour. They're going to spread the ball to the right. Here's number 13.
One more should do it. Oh, she's put the ball down and playing advantage. New South Wales country now in the counter attack. The referees decided to pull it up.
Oh, she had all but the try line in front of her there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Mia normally has such good hands, so I think she'll be quite unhappy with herself with that.
I don't think the delivery was particularly favourable either, though.
And she's another girl from West Harbour. There's a lot of girls in this side for the City girls from West Harbour, isn't there?
Yes, there are. West Harbour's quite a strong team at state champs, so a lot of the girls got rewarded for their efforts there and managed to make the Sydney team.
Yep. Let's see what country can do here. The referee's laying the law down, isn't she, Gary?
Yeah, she certainly let them know what her expectations are, but that's only a good thing.
That's exactly right.
You never want to go playing on a field with a referee who's not particularly assertive. She's doing a fantastic job. Strong scrum. Strong scrum by Sydney.
There by Sydney.
Fantastic hands.
Overlap here.
All the way. That one extra pass would have guaranteed them 5 points there. Bit of white line fever might have taken a hold there. As Sydney get the penalty. Offside. Looks like they're going for a quick tap option. Looking for a barnstorm over the top.
Good offload.
Great offload. Good defence by New South Wales country. Keeping Sydney from getting over that line. Sydney trying to muscle their way over. Looks like they've got the ball held up. The referee referee and assistant referee conferring. Sydney for the try.
And I think it was Caitlin Winslade that scored it, number 17.
I actually think it was Monica Famasu.
Let's see.
Replay here. First.
Oh, yeah, no, it is number 17. You're right.
Yes, I think it might have been held up the first time, but then the second pick and drive got over the line.
Caitlin Winslow.
So we now have another goal kicker, which is number 14, Mina Assalan.
Good strike. Unfortunately, again, just not enough legs.
So that takes the points scoreboard to 15, Sydney Country 5, with 6 minutes remaining left on the clock. Gary, what do you think Country have to do here?
Well, Country, first of all, need to hang on to the ball. I think they've just got their sin bin players returned to the field now, so they've got a full complement back on the pitch. They need to put the ball in their hands, and they need to use their width as well. You notice a lot of times they've got a player overmatch on the outside, and trying to match it up in the forwards at the moment is just it's hurting their game. So I think they need to get their hands on the ball, and they need to move it wide. And here we go with this New South Wales Country turnover. Straight away with the counter-attack.
He's number 8, which is Charlie Norton from the Hunter. Number 17, Paris Young.
Here we go, New South Wales Country scrum. Referee found a small knock on from Sydney, with their very intense defence coming out from the fringes of the rucks. They're very, Phoebe, they've got a really strong defensive mindset around the ruck. Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, the girls love, they love a good hit, good tackle and everything. They really like to have, I think they pride themselves in their strong defence and really trying to take away the opposition's momentum. So, yeah, they work really hard around the rucks.
Well, if that's what they're trying to do here, it looks like that they're achieving it with New South Wales Country. They're really stopping them getting any rolling momentum, particularly close in around the ruck. And you got some big, strong forwards there that are doing a fantastic job for you in the middle of the field. Yeah,
the girls are doing an amazing job. I really think Country really need to back their backs. They look like they have a really dynamic back line, so I think if we see it get spread out wide to them, they'll put a lot of pressure on Sydney.
Another scrum reset here. Ball coming back out the same tunnel. So, Adam, once the ball's fed, the ball has to come out a different tunnel to the one it's fed in. If it comes back up, that's a scrum reset again.
Geez, the referee's taken good control of this game, hasn't she?
She's done such an exceptional job, as all referees do.
We've got number 9, which is Lucy Green feeding the scrum. And Country wins it.
Very flat-footed. Way to move it to the short side. Needs to look for that extra pass. Here we go, Anastasia Martin taken out over the sideline by some strong cover defence from Sydney.
That was a really good run there by Country's Madison MacArthur. But it was really good defence by Sydney there just to push the girls, the Country girls into touch.
Well, we've got a line out 22 metres out with less than 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. See if Country can overturn this line out for City and get the ball back.
Referee's called not straight for the throw once again. So New South Wales Country have opted for another line out. In a very good attacking position here for New South Wales Country. They really need to capitalise on this field position. They haven't been gifted with something terribly often here in the second half.
Good line out there by Country. He's number 19, which is Levani Tavanga from Central North.
They're starting to move the ball a little bit wider again. Got caught a bit high. And the referee's found a knock-on from New South Wales Country, playing knock-on advantage here. We've got Ruby Nicholas. Makes an outstanding run down the sideline, picks his team up 30 metres.
Has a good run there by one of your backs there, Phoebe.
Yeah, Ruby's got some really good pace. She loves to go for a run and loves to throw the dummy, so yeah.
Penalty goes to Sydney there for a side entry.
What's the side entry, Gary?
So once the ruck's formed, Josh, the only place you can enter is from a place called the gate, which basically extends on your side of the ball from one end of the player on the ground to the other. If you enter from anywhere outside that, it's called a side entry, and it's an illegal part of the game.
Right. Thanks for that insight, Gary.
Lovely line out there by Sydney.
Oh, great strip there from the number 3, Georgia Chappell, New South Wales Country.
Unfortunately, we're offside.
I think it was I think that she's saying knock on in the line out by Country. I think they managed to get a little hand to it.
So we'll have another scrum, and unfortunately, that is full time.
The referee's still timekeeping. So she's decided that this half she's going to go a bit longer, by the looks of it.
She's making up for the early.
Making up for the earlier one.
While this scrum's being sorted, we've got next coming up the under 15 boys.
On a kick in behind by Chelsea.
Well taken by Anastasia Martin, who runs it back into some pretty heavy traffic up the guts there. And put into the backfield. Got Harriet Neville chasing it down.
It's cleaned up by Isabel Moy, who kicks it into touch.
That should finish the game out.
And that's all she wrote in the under 15 girls. Sydney 15, Country 5. What were your thoughts on that game, Phoebe?
Yeah, it was really good to see. I'm really proud of the girls. They've worked really hard in the lead up. Yeah, it was a really nice, tough battle between the two teams, which is amazing to see for the growth and development of the game. Yeah, I loved it. That was a terrific game of footy there.
And who would you say your man of the match is?
Oh, I'm going to have to think about that one.
Or the girl of the match, I should say.
Well, there was quite a few standouts for Sydney, both in the backs and the forwards. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can pick one of them. Yeah.
What do you reckon, Gary?
So for me, I think Sydney played a a lot more disciplined game in the second half to New South Wales Country. I think New South Wales Country slipped away a little in the second half, which hurt them. Slipped away with their structure and their intensity in the second half, which really hurt them to finish up. For me, for Sydney, I think Phoenix LeMays and Bree Stone were my two standouts. Bree Stone's, her ability to hit the line and hit gaps was unmeasured by anyone else on the field. And Phoenix LeMays, she played a really, really good front-up game and really strong platform up the middle for them. I think for New South Wales Country, I think it was Anastasia Martin from the wing really inserted herself really quite well, I thought, and Georgia Chappell, despite the yellow card, I think had a really strong up front game as well.
As you can see here, it's a tradition in rugby union, isn't it? That the teams both line up and let them run through each other.
Yeah, very much so. One of the best parts about rugby union is the mutual respect between teams. Win or lose, it's always good to catch up after the game and really congratulate and celebrate the sport itself rather than the win. And that sort of goes across the board from club rugby all the way up to the top level World Cup rugby, Everyone loves everyone. So this is such a such an important part of the culture around the sport is just this, the mixing, the getting a photo after a game, the congratulating each other, and really it's more humbling than anything else.
Well, we'll have the presentation now, and once we have that presentation, we'll be conclude this game. But Gary's just about to head off, so I want to thank Gary for his time this morning. Thanks, Gary.
Well, thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me. It's been a fantastic morning of rugby, and we're looking forward to a big afternoon of it as well. Watch out for the under-17s Girls New South Wales country team. We're coming.
And watch out for Gary in his future commentating career, eh?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if anyone's looking, I'm looking for work. If anyone's hiring, just putting it out there.
And thanks very much for your thoughts there today, Phoebe, and enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.